Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. Second time today. I did a video a little earlier to show my Happy Meal that I got this morning. I'll finish this row and I'll show you. You've already seen, if you've seen the video you've already seen, but I'll show you again. Put that knitting down. That was my Happy Meal this morning. A lady called Susan, who lives up in Scotland, sent this to me, but I have been doing all the measurements for this doll, and it is actually the size of a premature baby. I've got all the sizes written down in my book here, so I'll know when I knit anything for it. To find it, a doll's measurements. The full body measurement of the doll is 18 inches or 46 centimetres. That's about the size of a premature baby or a very small newborn baby. And I measured the back to the hip is 6 inches or 15 centimetres. And if you were doing a romper suit for it, which would be measuring from here, right down to the middle of the body down there, that measures 9 inches, so that's 23 centimetres. And the side measurement here down to there, the side would be 4 inches, 10 centimetres. The sleeve length would be 4.5 inches, 11.5 centimetres. Around the cuff is 4 inches, that's 10 centimetres. And the leg measurement from under the body down to the ankle is 6.5 inches, that's 16 centimetres. And from the waist to the ankle, if you were doing pants, it would be 9 inches, it's 23 centimetres. Round the ankle is 4.5 inches, 11.5 centimetres. The neck, round the neck on that is 8 inches, and that's what I've done on little baby cardigans. That's 20 centimetres. And the head circumference for hats, like pom-pom hats type, would be 13.5 inches, which is what I do for a baby pom-pom hat. That's 34 centimetres. And the chest would be 12 inches, so that's 30.5 centimetres. But I haven't measured this part around the face. If we're doing a little bonnet, I'll have to check that. I haven't got it written down here. Yeah, I'll have to measure that part. Imagine from about round there to round there. I would imagine it's probably about 12 inches or something like that for a little bonnet. So I've got all the measurements down there for anything. I do have a lot of dolls patterns, but if there's anything I want to make up myself, it's there. But anyway, I've been knitting the little cardigan. This is the one for the lady who had done the other 4 cardigans, and one of her granddaughters lost a baby, but there must be another one pregnant, so who actually knows what she's having, so she asked me to do blue for a boy. So I've done this. Looks like the double moss stitch, the two knit stitches and 2 purl stitches, 2 knit stitches, 2 purl stitches. Do that for 2 rows. Just moss stitch, only you're doubling up, like Irish moss stitch, only you're doubling up on it. But that's the back I've done, and I'm in the middle of knitting one of the fronts for it here. I can see that's the one of the fronts. I'm nearly up to the armholes there. I'll put that down. And I had already knit. I started knitting with this wool, and I'd knit the back, the size, the number of stitches. I didn't do a swatch with this. I never do swatches for baby things, because even if they come out bigger, they grow into them. But this wool is a lot thicker than ordinary double knitting. I would say it's in between the thickness of double knitting and Aran. There must be a thickness in between that, which is what this is very much like. And I started off using the 3.25 for the the rib bit down the bottom here, and it really felt tough. It was sort of hard. It wasn't, you know, the needle wasn't going through the stitches as easy as it does normally, like. And then when I come to knit this part here, I think I done 10 rows using the 4mm needle, and it was just, to me, it was just coming out too tight. So I changed, after the 10 rows, I changed to a 4.25mm. But as I got to the 5 inches, is which what I normally do when I measured it, I wanted it to measure 8.5 inches, so it comes out 17 inches for a 16-inch. But this measured 20 inches, so I knew that wool is thicker than what it should be. So I kept on going. I went a little bit further, and I've done it to about just over 7 inches, I think. So it's probably going to fit a 20-inch, a 19 or a 20-inch. So I kept on doing it, and I had to alter the shaping to make sure it was long enough for the 20-inch as well. So I've left that one for now, and I'll finish that one after I've finished the other 2 little cardigans I have for the lady that I'm knitting this one for, because I have another one to do after this one. So at least I've got the back and one of the fronts done, and I'll get the rest of that probably finished off tonight. But I have had my crochet hook out today, because I did say that I was going to do some little bags for children, and I have done one just to test it. This is one little one I've done. This one measures 9 across here by 6 inches up to there, and it has got a flat bottom on it. You know, it'll stand up. You can see in front of put something in it, it stands up. And I've used 3 strands of, I think there's white, pink and turquoise. I used just 3 strands of double knitting together because I want to make it strong, and so it's got plenty. That's the way I do the big bags that I do. But this one probably be about the size for a little toddler. These are just experimenting with these at first. I have been asked by a lady called Janet, who I've knit for before. She's asked me to do 2 for her grandchildren, an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. So the next size I'm going to do would be what I would do for, this would probably be up to about a 2 or a 3-year-old. So the next size I'm going to do for like probably 4 to a 7-year-old would be about, instead of 9 inches across, I'm going to make it maybe about 12 inches across and a little bit higher. So it'll be a little bit bigger. And then I'll do a third size, a little bit bigger than that. Not quite as big as the ones that I have, that I keep all my wool in, but this is big enough for a little child to carry around some of their little bits and pieces, and maybe help their mum with their shopping when she puts their shopping in. But I do have to work out a price for these, because this, I've flattened it down and put it, I have one of those boards where you put the large letter thing, and this won't go through without touching the sides. So it's going to have to be a small parcel, which was going to cost me £3.35 second class parcel to post to anybody. And then I have to think about the price of the wool, where there's probably nearly £2 worth of wool, because there's nearly 100 grams in this bag, and most of the wool I've got is around about £2 a ball. And then if I was to sell them on the shop, I would have to pay the fees to the shop, so there's quite a bit. So really, I don't know whether it's going to be worth me doing these actually, because I would have to charge probably about £10 for a little bag like that for to make any money out of it. So I'm not absolutely certain. It'll be okay. Like for the likes of Janet, there's going to be 2 in her parcel, so the postage will be like split between the 2. So it won't be so bad. But I'm not sure whether it's worth doing these little ones that are, because of what the postage is going to cost. And like I said, if I sell them on my shop, what it's going to cost for the fees that I have to pay. So I'm thinking about it at the moment. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but anyway, that's That's it. Till I make my mind up. And I'll get my knitting back up again. I've dropped on my needles on the floor. And I was at bingo Thursday night, and me and my friend won again. We didn't win quite as much as we won the last time we went, but I won a line, and both my friend and myself won a house, a £20 house. It was only a £5 line, it was a £20 house, but we both won that house. I'm going to tell you, we were playing, and whenever we win, we shout, you know, and hold the card up so that them that checks can come and see the card. So we were doing this game, and my friend, when she shouts so loud, she nearly burst my eardrums. And we were playing this one game, and she shouted. Well, I had house as well on the same card. So I didn't bother shout, I just held the card up like that, and she's holding the card up like, she turned to me and she said, well, when they come to check, they'll say, oh, there's two, you know, there's two for this game. And she said to me, oh, honey, she says, we're going to have to share it again. And I says, I know we're going to share it. She says, I know, but she says, that's instead of £20, we're only going to get £10. I says, £10 for me, £10 for you. She says, no, but we're going to share. I says, yes, you're sharing with me, and I won the other game. I says, that's why I'm holding the card up like this. She hadn't noticed I was holding the card up. She hadn't even noticed because I didn't shout. And when the fella come over, I says, just check her card. I says, you don't need to check mine, we just share anyway, you know. So I had a bit of a laugh there, like, and it was quite a good night again, except the last two games, when I think that was the third game. We got a book of 6 when we start, and that was the third game when me and my friend both shouted. Well, I didn't realise it was the third game, and we hardly had time to turn the page over on the book to the next game when she started calling the numbers out, and we weren't even ready. And I'm saying I missed the first 3 numbers that come out, and I turned the page over that quick. I turned 2 pages over and never realised I was marking the last card on the in the book. And it wasn't until after it was finished, and I looked at my friends, and she was marking a pink card, and I was marking a green one, and I realised what had happened. And my friend says, after I'd finished those games, she says, I'll check the numbers on my card on the game you missed, she says, and the way you haven't got any markings on to see whether you might have won. I said, do not do that. I don't want to know whether I might have won or not. I says, I messed the game up, and I messed that last one up as well, because I used one of those dobbers while the numbers were covered, and I was having trouble trying to find out when they were calling the numbers. So I was trying to call it put the marker at the side so it wasn't on the full number, so I'd know whether I'd marked that number up. But anyway, we did come away with £12.50 each. Didn't quite pay for our night, but I just enjoy the enjoyment of it. But my friend just enjoys the money that she gets from it. But anyway, that's it. I'm going back to my knitting. Sort out this video, get it through my computer. The other one is uploading at the moment, where I had the Happy Meal for the dolls, so this one will be a little bit later. And I'll catch you all again, so thumbs up and subscribe. Bye for now.